Wow, what a night. UFC 295, that was awesome. Sorry that this video is a little bit late. I was watching UFC 295 with some mates. Some drinks were consumed. I was in no state to record a video the way that I wanted to, right? I had some clear points that I wanted to come across, and it's about Marc Goddard. We need to talk about that stoppage, and we will. But firstly, Tom Aspinall, amazing work, mate. Amazing work. Well done to all of England. Well done to all the English fans. Shout out to Mr. Teabag. Good work, man. That was just, God, that was a fun fight. From the walkout to the stare down, the way that Tommy got clipped and then adjusted, and the head movement, and then the way he slept Pavlovich. His post-fight on the mic, Tom Aspinall all week has been a star. He is going to be a superstar of UFC heavyweight, just a superstar of UFC in general, I think. It was such a good performance. I don't think Jon Jones is ever coming back. And I mean this by it adds to the problems that we're going to face with Jon Jones's return. Look, Jon Jones is an extremely inactive fighter. He took a year and a half off to get his body up to heavyweight condition to put on the muscle mass that he needed. Now he's torn his pec off the muscle, off the bone. He's completely destroyed his pec. How is he going to maintain that level of muscle and that level of weight that he needs to be athletic at heavyweight? He's looking at 8 months off just to heal up from the pec damage. Then he's got to get back in the gym and put all that muscle back on. By then, Stipe Miocic is going to be in a retirement home. We could see Tom Aspinall with 2 title defenses underneath him. He's only going to get more popular. And then what? Jon Jones is going to come back and just demand a fight with a retiree for the undisputed belt while you've got this super popular Englishman knocking people out, submitting people, doing title defenses of the interim title. It's going to make it so hard for Jon Jones to come back and just do whatever he wants when his body does fully heal up. Not just heal up from the injury, but then heal up and get that muscle mass back on him to be at heavyweight again. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. This video could age like milk. This take could be terribly wrong, but I just don't see it ever happening. And I can see Tom Aspinall getting better training camps. Now, he had a short training camp, plus he pulled his back. Now that he's the interim champ, he's going to have full training camps. He's going to have more time on the mic. He's going to have more time in front of the fans. He's only going to get more popular. It's a bad thing for Jon Jones. It's bad for Jon Jones to come back like this. This is now Jon Jones's competition. It's not good. It's not good for Jones. But amazing work to Tom Aspinall. I wanted to talk about before we get into Marc Goddard was Mackenzie Dern. She got completely exposed. The UFC were trying to push her like the next Ronda Rousey. And she is. She's real good at jiu-jitsu, but the striking, she is absolutely terrible at. She got pieced up. It was so fun to watch. Now look, no hate against her, but it's just fun to watch some violence. At the end of the day, we're fans of MMA, we're fans of cage fighting. It's good to see a good old-fashioned beatdown. I hope that she heals up. I hope that she learns how to box. I hope that she comes back stronger. That doesn't make that fight any less enjoyable. I hope that she learns a lot from it and comes back stronger and better. Okay, let's get into the main event now. I am happy that Poatan won. I enjoy Alex Pereira's fighting style. I enjoy the meme of Alex Pereira's Chad stoic personality. I don't really mind that he won. I think it's great. I don't care what Yuri Prochazka says about the stoppage. I don't care. It's irrelevant what Yuri Prochazka thinks about the stoppage. Yeah, he was shaken. Yeah, he is taking it like an absolute warrior. The dude lives his life by a warrior code. He's not going to go out and start complaining on social media. He's got a champion mindset. He's just not that type of guy. So whether or not Yuri thinks it was an early stoppage or not, personally, I find it to be completely irrelevant. The only thing that matters is what actually happened in the fight. And before we get into that as well, I also believe that when you're properly trained, when you've done something 1,000 times, your mind and your body has muscle memory. So speaking of Yuri being rocked, even if Yuri was rocked, his body starts to go through the motions of muscle memory to get him back into the fight, which is exactly what happened. Yuri Prochazka gets rocked and immediately after being shaken dives in for a double leg and starts working on that double leg to try and drag Alex Pereira down into a grappling position. And he succeeds at that. and drags Alex Pereira down. Alex Pereira is on top of him. And not only is he on top of him, but he's in a very high mounted position on top of him, very high. And from that position, we do not know if Yuri Prochazka could have bucked and slid out from the bottom and shaken himself back to it. And we don't know whether or not Alex Pereira could have shifted his hips back, postured up, and started raining down vicious ground and pound. This is the problem. It's a title fight, and we do not know how it would have ended because Marc Goddard got in there too quickly. It was too early of a stoppage from Marc Goddard. It's all well and good that Yuri Prochazka is taking it on the chin. It's all well and good that the media like Alex Pereira and it's like, yeah, whatever. But this isn't the first time that Marc Goddard has jumped in too quickly and stopped a main event too early. And that means it's not going to be the last time that he has done it. There's nothing wrong with saying that Marc Goddard did an early stoppage and he should be punished for it. I personally believe that Marc Goddard should step back from main events for 12 months. For 12 months and just focus on doing prelims, non-main events, non-title fights, just to get his timing back down because he is doing it again and again and again. And what happens if it's a more serious title? Like, what happens if it's Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski 4? And it's Max Holloway's absolute last chance to win the title. And Marc Goddard is in there and he stops it early. And everyone could say, oh yeah, it might be a good stoppage, but Max Holloway is so good at keeping himself in the fight. It's just unacceptable that he goes ahead and keeps ruining people's title opportunities like this. Yuri Prochazka is someone who can get rocked and fight through it. He has literally trained his mind. He punched a tree for 24 hours, yeah? He punched a tree for 24 hours. He's trained his mind to do crazy things. So can we not let him test that? Like, heaven forbid he takes 2 or 3 hammer fists while in a grounded position and his arms flail out. Right, so heaven forbid that happens. Okay, like, he's not gonna die. You're not gonna give him long-term CTE damage from a couple more hammer fists. The dude's a cage fighter. Just give him a little bit more of a chance. Marc Goddard is way too keen to get in there early, and he's got to have at least, in my opinion, 12 months off to just get his timing back down. We don't want to fire him and say you can never do another main event again. It's really hard to get good MMA referees in there. Really hard. And Marc Goddard is a good MMA referee. But when it comes to these main events, he's just so keen to be a great MMA referee that he gets in there a touch too quickly. And that's got to stop. So just put him on the sidelines for 12 months, let him get his timing back in, and let him realize, like, you've got to let these fighters try and get themselves out of it, out of that situation. They are in there to the biggest moment of their life. Give them 5 more seconds. The last thing that I wanted to talk about with the stoppage, when a referee stops a fight, it's because a fighter isn't defending intelligently. Now, again, when you look at the clips, when you look at what is actually happening here, Yuri Prochazka is defending intelligently. He's dragging his opponent down onto the ground. And once he has succeeded in his takedown and gotten his opponent down onto the ground, yes, his opponent is in a mounted position on top of him, but he is still he is still defending it intelligently. He's still doing what the rules say. Like, no matter, I just don't care whether or not you like Alex Pereira or you like Yuri Prochazka and you're okay with Yuri Prochazka's, statements after the fight that he's okay with this. It either is or it isn't an early stoppage, right? Like, when we're talking about the rules of MMA, it either is an illegal knee or it isn't an illegal knee. It either is a shot to the back of the head or it isn't. This is an early stoppage. So there needs to be some punishment for that. That's all I wanted to say about that. Other than the night was absolutely amazing. It was such a fun fight all the way from the early prelims, all the way to the main event, the controversy at the end, and then the speeches afterwards at the post-fight press conference. An amazing night of UFC. It has absolutely delivered. That is our 3rd stellar pay-per-view this year. It would be a hard call to be like, which pay-per-view was the best pay-per-view this year. It was that good. Guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think about Marc Goddard's stoppage? Was it too early? Am I completely off the mark here? Am I completely wrong? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're enjoying these videos, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button down there. And I'll see you all in the next one.